Well, it's looking worse and worse for Leoda Bradshaw. It looks like if, according to prosecutors, she hired these hitmen to take Patterson out with her daughter. And she's the one who picked up Patterson and daughter and delivered them to the gunmen to unalive them. And the thing is, what really threw me for a loop is the fact that her cousin was involved. If her cousin was not involved, I would say, she was framed. They don't, but the fact that her cousin is involved tells me that she and the cousin maybe planned this together. Well, she planned it with the cousin. Let's say that, and then they brought in the two gunmen. So whatever was going on, the cousin was well aware of it. Now I don't know if this person in government who goes by the name of Paulwell had any involvement in the murder at all. His involvement was for the DNA test. But whether or not he was in with the unalivement, I don't know. The evidence still got to come out in court. And the person who is doing the talking right now, guys, remember, that person is talking to save his ass. Everything might not be true. NBC6 reported on the death of mother and child who died in Jamaica. The report came out of Miami, Florida, where Leoda Bradshaw was stationed. She was a petty officer in the Marine. And it looks like if Bradshaw is looking more and more guilty, Leoda Bradshaw is looking more and more guilty, because by everybody's reporting, all the authorities are saying that it was Bradshaw, Leoda Bradshaw and her cousin, who hired the hitmen. And I was expressing my thoughts on how did she get the money, where did she get the money from? Because we know she was short of cash at the time that she was traveling to Jamaica, by all accounts, because she was asking the woman who claims to be her surrogate mother, she was asking her for money. And it was a small amount of money, like a couple of $100s. And I'm saying, well, if she didn't have a couple of $100s, where is she going to find thousands to pay these hitmen? So I ruled her out. And I was saying, maybe, this is what I was thinking, that it was Philip Paulwell who hired the men, because he have means to have money in his pocket, right? Because he's a man in government. He works for the government, and I'm sure he's getting a decent salary, enough that he can hire hitmen. But it is looking more and more like if it was Bradshaw, Leoda Bradshaw, and her cousin who did the hiring of these men. I guess I could not bring myself to believe this young, little, sweet, little innocent face of Bradshaw had anything to do with any type of murder. But let me tell you something. Pretty face and bad character. This is what we're probably looking at. Don't get fooled by the pretty face, okay? That will do you in every time.
Miami sailor is in a Jamaican jail accused of murder for hire scheme that left a mother and her 10-year-old dead. The case is also connected to a Jamaican member of parliament who the suspect once had a relationship with. NBC6's Jamie Gorilla is live in Miami with this international saga. Jamie.
Yeah, that woman, the U.S. Navy confirms, is a petty officer. Tonight, she's facing charges of kidnapping and murder. A family tonight is grieving this mother and her 10-year-old daughter. And it's this Miami woman, Leoda Bradshaw, who is accused of hiring hitmen to kill them in Jamaica.
Leoda Vanessa Bradshaw, 34 years old, petty officer in the U.S. Navy. She was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of murder.
Bradshaw is a U.S. Navy petty officer assigned to a talent acquisition team here in Miami. In a statement to NBC6, the Navy says it takes all allegations of misconduct seriously and is fully cooperating with appropriate investigative and law enforcement authorities. The matter is currently under investigation by Jamaican authorities and the Navy Criminal Investigative Service. This is Bradshaw walking out of a Jamaican courtroom after being charged. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution in Jamaica alleges Bradshaw and her cousin hired 2 men to murder a child and her mother. The contracted men allegedly carried out the murder by shooting the victims, then burning them.
It is one of the most painful investigations for the team since recent times. However, the team of investigators continue to be professional and remain focused.
Jamaican officials identifying the child as the daughter of a member of parliament, Philip Paulwell. In a press release, prosecutors allege Bradshaw and Paulwell were in a relationship and Bradshaw considered Paulwell her spouse. He hasn't responded to our request for comment, but he did say this on social media, that anyone could murder a mother and an innocent baby is unimaginable, and my heart is heavy with sadness. I am praying for Tashinia's family, who I know are experiencing the unbearable grief and pain of losing their beloved daughter and granddaughter. Bradshaw is expected to appear again in court in December. We reached out to her attorneys for a comment, but haven't heard back, although they have publicly denied the allegations. Reporting live in Miami, Jamie Garola, NBC6 News.
So that was NBC6 News reporting on the story. Drop your comments and share your thoughts. And don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. So the police said they had more than enough evidence to tie Bradshaw to the murder. And the evidence is overwhelming. It's a preponderance of evidence. Therefore, they got the slam dunk on her. I thought maybe there was a chance that she was framed, but it looks like she was not framed. Let's listen to the chief of police.
I'm convinced that we are on the right track. I'm convinced about the quality of evidence and the potency of the evidence. I am convinced when I look at the material that the evidence that we have garnered so far is very strong and very can stand up to the scrutiny in the court of law.
Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, declined any comments. I guess in order not to try the case in the court of public opinion. And she's waiting for the case to get to court to make all comments. Deborah Martin is the attorney representing Leoda Bradshaw. And she put out a statement that said Leoda maintained her innocence. But I'm wondering when the evidence is presented in court or disclosure prior to court, how is she going to handle the case if they're going to plea deal this case? Because according to the chief investigator, they've got a very strong case that can hold up in any court of law. So yesterday I put out a video about a woman calling into Shelly's show after Shelly said anyone can call into her show if they have information on Leoda. The unidentified woman said she did not want to give her name and she did not want to show her face. So she's still a mystery woman. We don't know who she is, if indeed she is this surrogate mother of Leoda. But she was really saying some wonderful things about Leoda, and she was vouching for her character. She said she would never unalive anybody, and it all has to do with this guy, Philip Paulwell. She said he's the one who took out the hit on these people. He's the one who unalived Patterson and her daughter, and he's the one who was guilty of everything, including getting Leoda down there under false pretenses, because she said he promised to marry her, although in the past he did not want to marry her. He promised to marry her this time, and so of course she probably was so excited that he finally said he was going to marry her that she rushed down there because he said he wanted her to be there with him for the DNA testing of Patterson's baby. And so, remember guys, she spoke to this woman via Facebook on the 5th of September. And on the 6th, she flew down to Jamaica. That was very, very quick. And I guess she had to do it like that because she had to get back to work. It was the weekend. But it came out now that she has this woman is calling herself a stepsister of Leoda because they grew up together. Like the woman who was being interviewed by Shelley said that she's very close to her family. And Leoda is so close to her family that she considers Leoda like a daughter, and Leoda calls her mom. And so the daughter of this woman, the daughter who was supposed to be good friends with Leoda, said that she is breaking her silence because Leoda took out a life insurance policy on her and her mother, and they didn't know anything about it. And Leoda is the sole beneficiary of the life insurance policy. Now, while Leoda was in Jamaica, the this young woman who's telling this story, because she put it out there on the internet. Everybody has it, all the text messaging. And she was trying to get them down there to Jamaica. In my mind, I'm thinking she was going to do a clean sweep of everybody. She's like a sociopath. If this is true, Leoda is really a sociopath, incapable of any feelings towards her fellow human being. And this is all alleged because we don't even know if this story is true, but we know it's out there on the internet, all over the internet. And this young woman said that Leoda took out this life insurance policy on her and the mother, the same mother who I put out a story on yesterday. I did a video on the mother swearing up and down for Leoda that she would never, ever do anything of this sort, this crime that she's accused of. And it was Philip Paulwell is the one who did it and set up Leoda. Now, the young woman who I'm talking about now is this woman's daughter. And this woman's daughter said that Leoda took out a life insurance policy on both of them, naming herself the beneficiary if they were dead. And she wanted both mother and daughter to go down to Jamaica. She was trying to get them there. And I'm thinking to myself, the only reason she would try to get them there is because she knew that Patterson and her child would be unalived. And if she's paying these gunmen, she wants them to do a total job. So what better time to unalive this mother and daughter also for the life insurance policy? If she's going to put out all this money to pay gunmen, she's probably thinking she's going to get it back through the life insurance policy when she do away with these other two people, the mother and the daughter. Now, this mother and the daughter are not her blood relatives. They're just close because she grew up with the daughter, the woman said. The daughter was best friends to her, and so she always remained close to the family. And she called the woman mom, but she's not her biological mother. Even the woman consider her like a daughter because she's so close to them. She took out the life insurance policy on these people. They're not even aware that a bounty is on their head. In case of their deaths, she's going to get the money. Can you imagine? So if this is true, Leoda is a sociopath. So according to Google, a sociopath is a person with a mental health disorder, incapable of any empathy or sympathy or any regards for other people. These are the kind of people who will say they love you in one breath and can shoot you between the eye in the other breath, okay? And a couple of you probably know some sociopaths out there, some ex-boyfriends, some ex-girlfriends who will throw you under the bus and run you over a couple of times, back up and go forward a couple of times. They have no feelings. Those are the ones who deliberately have you fall in love with them. Or they do all the things to make you fall in love with them. Wine you and dine you and bring you roses, open doors, shower you with love, and say all the right things. And then they keep asking you, do you love me? Do you love me? And the minute you say, yes, I love you, honey, that's the worst thing you could have said. Because then they don't want you no more. And if you go knocking on their door or want to see them, they call the cops on you and have you arrested. Oh. So those are the kind of things that tells you and tells me that that person is a sociopath. No regards to feelings. No regards for other people's feelings. And they keep that cycle going. So I'm sure you guys know people like that. And that's just one example. Then there are other types of sociopaths out there where they can hurt you. I mean, seriously hurt you without a care in the world. They don't say sorry. They don't bat an eye. And they really don't care. They look at you if you're crying like if you're crazy. You know, and there are so many different examples of sociopaths. They don't have feelings. They're incapable of loving, giving love, showing empathy and sympathy. They don't, it's a mental disorder. A lot of people don't understand it because it's hard for us to really have a grasp on people not able to love. They're not able to love or feel anything for their fellow human being. They have no emotion. And they camouflage it well by a lot of smiling and I love you, but they don't mean it. So guys, drop your comments. Let me know what you think about this video. There's just new stuff coming out all the time. Leoda, it's not looking too good for you. Take it from me. The evidence is strong, according to the prosecutors, but we're going to see what they present in court. Oh my goodness, it's just getting crazier and crazier. This Leona got a pretty face, but bad character, if these allegations are true. So on that note, guys, drop your comments. Don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you for watching.